DuckDuckGo, a browser that used to be number one for advocating privacy, is now under fire after taking a deal with Microsoft that will allow some of their trackers to track your data. This is the Digital Prepper, and today I'm going to be talking about this developing issue with DuckDuckGo, how it's affecting us, and what you can do to prepare. Before we get started, I just want to remind you guys that if you do like the video and want to discuss anything regarding digital preparedness, or just preparedness in general, be sure to help this video get out to more potential preppers by leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing to see more like this. With that being said, let's get started. So, what happened? Well, starting off, DuckDuckGo is a search engine that prides itself on its privacy by not tracking your searches or your behavior while performing searches. Instead of building its user profiles to display advertisements based on your interests depending on what you click on, DuckDuckGo supposedly uses contextual advertisements from partners to essentially make it look like everyone using that browser has the same digital fingerprint. What's happening now is that because of a deal with Microsoft, the browser now purposefully allows Microsoft trackers on third-party websites due to an agreement in their search content contract between the two companies. What this means is that when using the DuckDuckGo browser, this browser does not block Facebook and Google trackers, for example. However, they do make an exception for some of Microsoft's. Researchers found that the browsers allow data to be sent to Microsoft, LinkedIn, and Bing domains. The company has now also added a note about its tracker blocking to its App Store description, saying, quote, "While we block all cross-site third-party cookies on other websites you visit, we cannot block all hidden tracking scripts on non-DuckDuckGo sites for a variety of reasons, including new scripts pop up all the time, making them difficult to find. Blocking some scripts creates breakage, making parts or all of the page unusable, and some were prevented from blocking due to contractual restrictions with Microsoft." Now, I'm not sure if this statement is just for damage control, but as of now, most users of DuckDuckGo are still upset and alarmed about this deal. So, now that we understand what's going on, how is this affecting us now? Well, regardless of whether or not you still like or use DuckDuckGo, tracking is tracking. Ironically, DuckDuckGo has recently went after Google for their new tracking methods, stating that Google says that they're better for privacy, but the simple fact is tracking, no matter what you call it. Now, for the people currently using the DuckDuckGo browser, do know that this is a problem, and it is a serious one. It undermines the trust in a product that claims to be the bastion of privacy. Other researchers have found out that tracking scripts are communicating back to Microsoft servers, and that Microsoft advertising will use your full IP address and user agent string so that it can properly process the ad click and charge that advertiser. This pretty much means that you have to just trust that Microsoft doesn't use or sell your data to any other third parties. Now, ultimately, if a browser stating that they are privacy-centric is contractually obligated to load tracking scripts from one single company and is required to avoid disclosing that fact, I personally would not want anything to do with either of them. So, now that we know all of the information and how it's affecting us, what can we do now to prepare? Well, first off, I honestly would avoid DuckDuckGo until this issue is resolved or at least clarified more clearly. In the meantime, you can use browser plugins or extensions to stop or reduce digital fingerprinting. For example, using uBlock Origin on browsers like Chrome and Firefox can work. The biggest thing that you can do to stop this is to switch to another privacy browser like Tor browser or Brave. These kinds of browsers prevent fingerprinting by standardizing all of the parts of its browser so that everyone appears to have the same fingerprint. Go ahead and click the card above to learn more about browser fingerprinting and why this is something to prepare against. Now, unfortunately, sometimes these browsers might not be compatible with all websites, and companies will most likely not allow them on their private networks. The good coming out of this is that private browsers are evolving to have more and more anti-fingerprinting technology while not breaking when visiting certain websites, as well as not having contractual obligations with other third-party companies. Links to these will be in the description. To wrap things up, we all have to do our due diligence and make sure that the devices and software that we use are safe for us. For some of these companies, their bottom line is to make a profit, and sometimes this means doing things like collecting and selling your data. Take a look at my other videos as well, and leave a comment if you have any lingering questions on how to get started with privacy or with digital preparedness. Like most things, I try to give you guys simple solutions to be able to advance yourselves in your digital preparedness, so just remember that you do not need to be a technical expert to be able to work on this. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to get more videos like this that will help you with your digital preparedness. If you have any ideas for more videos, or just want to share your experiences with prepping, please leave a comment down below. Stay safe, stay prepared, more digital prepping to come.